Trump critic since leaving during his first term. CBS's Aaron Navarro says Trump has accused Bolton of revealing classified documents.
Once Trump returned to the White House for his second term, he did strip Bolton of his security protections. After that FBI raid of Bolton's home in August, President Trump said he did not speak to Attorney General Pam Bondi about it, but then added, quote, "I'm not a fan of John Bolton."
A judge has ordered immigration agents in the Chicago area to wear body cameras. Some have been involved in clashes this week with protesters. The judge said TV images of those confrontations startled her. Venezuela's presidents condemned the U.S. over word the CIA is now conducting a covert operation inside the country. White House correspondent Weijia Jiang says it follows military action against boats off the Venezuela coast.
The U.S. military has added about 10,000 troops in the Caribbean, including 2,000 Marines aboard the USS Iwo Jima. Trump warned it could launch strikes on land.
We are certainly looking at land now because we've got the sea very well under control.
The administration recently notified members of Congress the U.S. is in a non-international armed conflict with drug cartels.
President Trump says on social media that he's been speaking by phone this morning with Russia's Vladimir Putin. In Washington, CBS's Stacey Lynn reports it's day 16 of the government shutdown.
House Speaker Mike Johnson was asked,
how will it end?
His answer wasn't one furloughed Fed workers wanted to hear.
We have no idea.
He said that's up to the Dems, but
the Democrats appear perfectly happy to keep the political theater going while real people suffer.
The Democrats are still holding out for health care provisions, but Johnson says they need to reopen the government first.
A judge ordered a temporary stop to federal firings during the shutdown. It's a bad scene in western Alaska in the wake of catastrophic flooding.
2 entire villages had to be evacuated after Typhoon Halong struck.
A lot of houses are floating down the river with people in them.
Alaska Governor Mike Dunleavy says 2 people who were washed away in their home are still missing. The first plane load of victims arrived at a shelter in Anchorage last night.
This may end up being one of the largest airlifts of Alaskans in the history of the state due to a disaster.
In all, 1,500 flood victims will be airlifted out. The governor says he's not sure when residents will be allowed to return to their villages. He'll tour the damage tomorrow. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Wall Street, right now the Dow is down 43 points. The S&P is down 6. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We're live at T-Mobile Park where the Mariners look to bounce back today. But first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. In Seattle, a crash is blocking a lane on Aurora Avenue North at North 80th Street. On State Route 18 westbound near the Tiger Mountain Summit, there's a crash partially blocking a lane. You're jammed up right across the summit there. Travel times overall not bad for this time of day. Everett to Seattle 35 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle 65. Renton to Bellevue 40. Still waiting for your lake bridges to clear out. Traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
The Mariners are going to win the whole series. We just had a rough night.
The mantra of all Mariner fans today. Last night, the M's falling to Toronto 13-4. The M's still lead the American League Championship Series 2-1. Live to T-Mobile Park now in KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey. Luke?
Good morning, Heather. I'm standing right in front of the Mariners dugouts. Cleanup crews are hard at work power washing the stands behind. The roof is back open this morning, and the sun is shining down for Game 4 tonight. If I turn around and look at the field, the grounds crews are tamping down the clay around home plate and the pitcher's mound, repairing the field after the best hitting team in baseball, the Blue Jays, showed up last night, 18 hits and 5 home runs. Mariners going for something they've never done before tonight, win more than 2 games in an ALCS. Like you said, Mariners have a 2-1 lead in this series. First pitch is 5:30. Live inside T-Mobile Park, Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Thanks, Luke. Hope springs eternal. Well, as the Mariners chase a World Series berth, bars and restaurants near T-Mobile Park are seeing record-breaking sales. Juice Andrews owns the Hall Group. He tells KIRO 7 TV.
We're ready for it. We're loving it. We're moving a lot of product through here. We're just constantly, just staying on top of it.
He says sales are up 200% on game days. A Seattle-based company, F5 Inc., has been the target of a cyber attack backed by the Chinese government. Bloomberg reporting that. It says the hacker stole files, including source codes from applications widely used by Fortune 500 companies and government agencies. Federal authorities are calling this a significant threat. They're urging agencies to update their F5 devices and software immediately. A high-speed pursuit between Pierce County deputies and a wanted man ends in a crash and the death of an innocent driver near Parkland.
A Pierce County deputy spotted a man wanted on a felony DOC warrant. Investigators say he took off, but only made it about 10 blocks when the deadly crash happened. Here's Pierce County Deputy Carly Capetto.
The suspect ran a red light and unfortunately did hit the victim's vehicle.
2 passengers in the suspect's car were also injured, and the suspect was arrested. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Washington State is earthquake country.
So we have the largest tsunami earthquake drill in the world.
Maximilian Dixon with Emergency Management says the Great Shakeout earthquake drill will happen this morning at 10:16.
Drop to the ground, cover your head and neck, and hold on.
The drill will be broadcast statewide, including right here on KIRO News Radio by the Emergency Alert System. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly sunny skies today with highs around 60. It's 44 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It's the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday, October 16th. If you're new to the show, thank you for being here. And if you're always here, a part of the show,
thank you.
Always appreciate you coming back. Hey, good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. Hey, we have another very packed show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do you do? I know you take a lot of flights.
Yes.
What do you do when you have a really, really long flight and you're done sleeping? What do you do?
I'd be on the phone and I'd be watching movies and stuff.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, on my recent return flight from Portugal, I spent some time writing a commentary that I've actually been holding off on.
Okay.
Because I was like, I need to hold off while the Mariners are on this high, and I just want to keep things just on the up and so positive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at 9:30, I'm going to share what I wrote, and I'll just give you a hint. It is a response to folks who accuse us of having Trump derangement syndrome.
Oh, okay.
So that's going to come up at 9:30 after Heather's newscast.
That's appointment radio, because I'm curious.
You're going to be talking to a lot of folks there.
Yep.
Okay.
888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Let's get to it. Ursula's top stories of the day brought to you by Bath Fitter Northwest.
Well, the first home game of the American League Championship Series didn't exactly go the way we wanted, did it? After 2 strong games, the Seattle Mariners ran into a buzzsaw last night as the Blue Jays offense came alive. Toronto rolled to a 13-4 win, unfortunately cutting our series lead to 2-1. Julio Rodriguez did give M's fans an early jolt with this.
The stretch and the pitch to Julio. Swinging a well-hit ball deep to left field. Going and goodbye baseball.
Unfortunately, Toronto answered with a 5-run third inning and never looked back. And George Kirby, who has been dominant all postseason, was tagged for 8 earned runs in just over 3 innings. Those are the 3 longest innings.
Yeah.
It was his roughest outing of the year. But now we have Game 4 tonight. Luis Castillo on the mound for Seattle, and then it's veteran Max Scherzer making his postseason debut for Toronto.
Yeah.
This fan tells KIRO 7 TV he has not lost confidence in the team.
We're getting back next game. Promise you we will. We're going to come back and we're going to get him next game. I guarantee it.
Okay, first pitch, 5:07, T-Mobile Park. What do you think?
Last night, the Mariners took one on the chin. And that happens, right? You take one on the chin because the Blue Jays came out swinging. And I was on Seattle's Morning News. Nick heard me say it, and I'll say it again. My favorite movie coming up was Rocky. I loved Rocky. And we all saw how Rocky would get pummeled, jaw beat up, and all that kind of stuff, right? He would get knocked down all the time. But in Rocky, they talk about it wasn't and isn't how hard you hit, but it is how hard you get hit. and still keep going. And the one thing that I'll say about this Mariners ball club is they have the hitting. We know that. They have the pitching.
Yeah.
They have the culture that we've all talked about. And they got the fan base that's behind them. They're going to be at T-Mobile Park tonight. And I think that it is all about the next round coming up. Sometimes when you lose, it's not always a setback. It can be a setup. And I think that last night was a setup to today.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because yesterday it was like, oh, my word.
Yeah.
And George Kirby's great, but those were the really long innings. And we were texting and saying, why aren't they pulling him out? Can you answer that? Like, why didn't they pull him out earlier?
I don't know. I think they wanted him. Looks like they wanted to work through it. Real quick before we move on, Nick, maybe you can answer that. Why did you think they wanted him to work through it?
I think they just thought let's say Bryce Miller, for example, in that first game, he had a rough first inning, but they let him play through it. So I think they had the same kind of mindset with Kirby, thinking he'll get past this hump and keep playing forward, but it didn't work out that way last.
Now, I will say I can't take credit for this. I got to give Curtis Rogers, C-Rog over there on the sports side. We were talking about the coffee, Ursula, and the one thing that he said, something to look out for. Against the Tigers at home, the most the Mariners scored was 3 runs, right? And last night, they scored 4. So those bats are going to have to be consistent because one thing about the Toronto Blue Jays, we know they can hit the ball.
And we saw that last night.
It's cold outside here in Seattle, right? It's a little chilly. So we got to be making sure they got to start off. It was really nice when Julio started off nice with the bat.
I was feeling
it was
good.
2-0. Wait, stop right there. Did anybody tell the truth when Julio started off the game like that and it's 2-0? It was like a lottery ticket. You started thinking about what you gonna do with the winnings.
You were already thinking of your fit.
Nick, was you thinking about it? Tell the truth.
We were riding pretty high in that first inning.
Okay.
As a Mariner fan that's been around for a while, I was just thinking like, man, this is going too good to be true right now. And then all of a sudden, I was like, oh, here we go. We've got a battle on our hands.
And Kirk and Mount Vernon, that's exactly what I was thinking about. I was thinking about when Rocky got beat down in Rocky 3. Mr. T was Clubber Lang during that time.
I remember.
Yeah, and then he came back. You know, feeling
Okay.
that's tonight.
So that's our time. Okay, we need to have the appropriate music next time we talk about the M's.
Okay, got it.
Well, you've probably seen it between innings at T-Mobile Park if you've happened to go to the games, because I was asking, what is this whole humpy thing? So 4 oversized salmon mascots racing along the warning track in what has become a Mariners tradition called the Salmon Run.
Okay.
So there's King, the regal one with the crown. There's Sockeye in flannel, Silver, the techie fish, and then there's Humpy. And so I try to envision this. Cross-eyed, wearing a life preserver. He's the lovable loser who never can figure out how to just even walk straight or swim straight.
The runt of the litter. Go ahead.
Yes. So after 167 tries, the impossible finally happened, and it was during the 15th inning of that marathon playoff game against Detroit. The M's decided to run a second salmon race because that game was so long. They'd never done it before, and once again, Humpy was way back, but the other fish collided with each other and it opened the lane for him to, run in his way to glory.
Right. Okay.
Well, it was his first ever win. And then, you know what? Everyone just kind of went crazy. And then the legend caught fire so quickly that Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell has now declared today,
he did.
October 16th is officially Humpy Day in Seattle.
Love it.
Okay, and G, you love it, especially since...
Yes.
There's going to be a big Humpy Day march.
It is going to be a big Humpy Day. They're going to go from City Hall over to T-Mobile Ballpark, and I will be there. I will be one of the MCs. Angie Mentink, who was a Mariners broadcaster, she will be another MC, and so I am looking forward to it, being around all of the Mariner fans. Look, we're going to start off at City Hall. Like who would ever thought, Mama?
Humpy Day.
Humpy and them.
That's cringe, man.
What's cringe?
Humpy Day?
Hey, you know what?
They tried to roll it out last night, too.
Well, because it was Humpy Day.
No, Humpy Day is today.
I know,
but they gave
Wednesday
Humpy a second win last night. Like, you
yesterday
can't
was,
repeat
like
it.
Ursula said, yesterday was Hump Day. Wednesday.
It's cringe. It is cringe.
Have some fun.
Yeah.
Chef.
Stolen valor.
Exactly. Have some fun. Hey, Chef.
Yeah.
The name is Humpy.
Did y'all know what a humpy was? Before yesterday?
No.
Okay.
That's why I have to explain to everybody.
Both of you and Heather Bosch, you cannot be a Pacific. You cannot say that you're a local if you don't know what a humpy is.
Whoa.
please.
Okay, keep it a buck. All you listening, text us.
Please, yes.
Text us
Who knew
if
what
you're
humpy
just
was?
finding out what and who Humpy was. Because Ursula and I are telling you the truth. We didn't know.
We didn't know, and I just assumed that there were a lot of other people who don't know, and that's why I shared who that is. Now I'm in love with Humpy.
So dance your chance to do the hump.
Okay, I'm going to get serious right now because our state attorney general, Nick Brown, is now pushing a new law aimed at protecting immigrant workers from surprise federal raids. You know, they've been happening. And this is called the Immigrant Worker Protection Act. It would require employers to notify their workers within 72 hours if ICE plans to inspect employment eligibility paperwork. Now, the AG says that would give the workers time to gather their documents, talk to an attorney, or make plans with their families before the agents arrive. And this move comes after several workplace raids this year, including that one in Bellingham, which we talked about. Nearly 40 people were arrested there. And then there was another one in Kent where 17 workers were taken into custody.
Yeah.
And supporters say this bill is a matter of fairness and transparency. But critics, including state GOP chair Jim Walsh, they say this undermines federal immigration law. The AG's office is asking for about $400,000 to pay for this proposal, which lawmakers will consider when the new session begins in January. What do you think?
We talk about land of the free, right, here in the United States. But look, freedom is not real if you are scared to feed your kids. Now, okay, listen, if the technicality matches up, if you are in this work environment and situation and it comes to where you might get deported, okay. I don't think anybody really had a problem with that. I was listening early this morning on the way to the gym before SMN came on. Gordon Deal was on, and they were this former ICE, this director of ICE. This is what his job used to be. It didn't used to be like this. We didn't talk. ICE has been around, just so we're clear. ICE has been around, but ICE hasn't acted in this way. And it was actually, Ursula, you know what? It was the first time that I actually empathize with those that work for ICE. They don't have a choice. They have to go and do these things or else they gotta leave, right? And so when it comes to this new law, or proposed idea to listen, for the people of the roofing company and all these places, listen, give them a warning. Hey, just so you know, if it looks like paperwork is not together at this place, we're going to be coming here. Okay, you come there. But this whole, taking people away from the families and kids, let's not do it that way. It was never done like this before.
Right.
Now.
Yeah, the idea is not to get in the way of enforcement, but ICE already gives employers 72 hours notice before checking I-9 forms. But it's the workers who often find out after the arrests begin. So how can you logically have your paperwork ready or be able to talk to an attorney, any of that, if they just come in? So this law would not be blocking ICE from doing its job. It just makes sure that the workers aren't blindsided.
Thank you. That's it.
And it does promote what is so often lacking these days, which is due process. And it would reduce the panic that is being felt in these immigrant communities. And we're not only talking about undocumented, we're talking about legal immigrants as well in the same workplace. And the other thing is, would this pass? There are similar laws that already exist in California, Oregon, and Illinois, and the courts have not struck them down. So I think that the AG is on to something. A brand new state sales tax is already sparking backlash and some lawsuits. Maybe you don't know about this, but for the first time, Washington is taxing services. That means everything from pottery classes to food banks, not just the goods that you buy. And Swim-based Security Services Northwest says the 10% tax makes no sense. Joe D'Amico is the owner of that business, and he spoke with King 5 News.
Like if you want to go buy a gun vault, there's no sales tax on that. So that's kind of like a safety mechanism. So what's the difference between a vault driving around on wheels? an armored car or any other safety services.
And his company has now become the second one to sue the Department of Revenue.
Anytime you see an officer at any of these locations, whether it's a Safeway, a QFC, a Fred Meyer, they're going to pass that on into the cost of food.
And he claims this law is confusing and unfair. The state, though, is saying that its hands are tied because lawmakers would now have to change this. And already this has fielded hundreds of calls for clarification. So he's not the only one that's confused.
Yeah.
And the tax is expected to raise $2.6 billion over 4 years. And that is now money that might not show up if these lawsuits are successful.
What I also like about this business owner that has decided to place this lawsuit is he's also just requesting hey, look, 90,000 businesses will be impacted by this. How about this? Can we delay this until January 1st so businesses and people can get an understanding? There's a lot of people who don't understand. As a matter of fact, real quick, there's a possibility that you listening right now, this is probably the first you've heard of it, and the date right now is October 16th. It passed. It's good to go come October 1st. Give people an understanding. And one last thing I want to ask you this, Ursula. Do you like how vague and complex and different for everybody that taxes are in this country?
No. And I also don't like that, and I complained about it at the time, but this is all part of the Democratic-controlled legislature's $9.4 billion revenue package. And critics are saying that over the next 4 years, we will be burdened with $12.2 billion in new taxes and fees that were passed in this past session. And, again, like you said, there's confusion. You've talked about how we have such a regressive tax system, and this is one more thing. It's like now you're adding a tax on services, things that people rely on every day, childcare, tutoring, food assistance. I mean, it's once again squeezing the same folks who are already stretched so thin.
But when I talk to some of these lawmakers and politicians here in this state, we have a very good conversation about a state income tax. We'll talk about it. And they agree. And they agree that we are a regressively taxed state. Why do you think, and I'm trying to figure out why are we the only ones? Why won't they come out and talk about those things? They will never go on the record, but we all know.
Because it's been tried before and it keeps failing because it's against the state constitution.
Okay, so we just.
So they're going to go. They're just going to find other ways to tax.
Okay, well, I think that for as many people, they get tired of me bringing up a potential state income tax. Okay, fair. We put that to the side. Then get ready to be taxed all different type of ways.
Yes.
Consistently.
And again, the reason why people don't, it's a non-starter for so many people is because they think all these nickel and dime taxing things are going to continue even after you have a state income tax.
And just so we're clear, the nickel and dime taxes do not hurt people that have money in this state. So I want to remind you, the people that have money, that when I say have money, if you make $150,000, $200,000 a year, you're not worried about this nickel and dime tax because you're probably able to afford an accountant or someone who can help you maneuver through that. But meanwhile, the working class that usually every year might have to go to H&R Block, guess what? You're impacted by this because you're impacted by buying goods, services, sales tax every day. But all right, we'll just stay this way. Ursula, let me go get me some coffee because you were on a plane on the way back here, and so you decided that you wanted to write about when people text in or call in and say, you have TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. So are you responding to this?
Here's the response. And I wanted to hold off, like I said, until today. I mean, I'll do it after a Mariners loss. I didn't want to do it while the Mariners were riding high.
Okay.
So we'll share that, and I encourage you, if you're already oh no, I'm not going to listen to it. I encourage you to listen to it and then respond. Respond in a respectful way. Respond. Text us, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Do that next. Gee Ursula.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM, powered by MyNorthwest.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Eric Butler here, General Manager at Kia of Everett, with some big news. Kia just dropped the biggest EV deals we've ever seen. The expired federal tax credit was great, but these new Kia rebates and lease specials are even more aggressive. We're talking thousands in savings on the award-winning EV6, EV9, Niro EV, and more. These exciting EV offers won't last, so get into Kia of Everett today before inventory disappears, or see us at kiaofeverett.com.
Check out the Kia Fall Sales Event at Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you. Because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
812's Steve Rabel here for Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. For men 40 and older, a simple PSA blood test can help intercept prostate cancer early. You can get the simple test before the Crucial Catch game October 20th at Ticketmaster Tailgate.
812's Steve Rabel here for Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. For men 40 and older, a simple PSA blood test can help intercept prostate cancer early. You can get the simple test before the Crucial Catch game October 20th at Ticketmaster Tailgate.
Your time is money, so why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
We are
Subaru of Puyallup.
We're stress-free.
Stress-free. Estamos libre de estrés.
We're almost 100 employees strong. We make sure the sales process is smooth.
We have video car walkthroughs.
We have stress-free pricing.
We value our customers and we value their experience.
We're like a family here. We love our community.
And support local charities. We are
Subaru of Puyallup, your
stress-free
dealership.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. The Seattle Mariners look to bounce back tonight after a loss to Toronto in the American League Championship Series. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is at T-Mobile Park. Luke, hope springs eternal?
Yeah, let's all hope, right? I'm standing right in front of the Mariners dugout where ground crews behind me are tamping down home plate and the pitcher's mound, repairing the damage from last night's blowout. You know, a lot of experts expected it, though. All season, the Blue Jays were #1 in hits and batting average and 4th in runs. Looks like the Mariners are going to keep the roof open tonight for Game 4. Luis Castillo will face Max Scherzer, who hasn't pitched in the playoffs until now. Mariners going for something they've never done before, win more than 2 games in an ALCS. First pitch is 5:30. Live inside T-Mobile Park, Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Typhoon Halong strikes the remote Alaskan coast, flooding homes and prompting airlifts.
This may end up being one of the largest airlifts of Alaskans in the history of the state due to a disaster.
Governor Mike Dunleavy says hundreds of villagers are being airlifted out. 2 people who were washed away in their homes are still missing. The Justice Department is expected to seek a grand jury indictment against former National Security Advisor turned Trump critic John Bolton. CBS's Scott McFarland.
John Bolton's home and his office in Washington, D.C. were searched in August by federal agents under a court-approved search warrant. It's an investigation into the potential mishandling and misappropriation or unlawful possession of classified records.
The federal government has been shut down now for 16 days. U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson.
Many of you have asked all of us, how will it end? We have no idea.
Republicans who control the House, Senate, and White House blame Democrats who are demanding to negotiate on health care. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem has made a video about this.
Democrats in Congress refuse to fund the federal government.
That video is playing at airports. Washington U.S. Senator Maria Cantwell says Noem is wrong, and she says that as a federal employee, Noem is actually breaking the law if she's using her job and resources to make political statements like that. Cantwell is calling for an investigation. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 297 points, NASDAQ off 151. KIRO News Radio traffic. A crash on the I-90 bridge eastbound has been moved to the on-ramp from East Mercer Way. Watch out for that. On State Route 18 westbound near the Tiger Mountain Summit, a crash is partially blocking a lane. You are jammed up across the summit. Travel times not bad for this time of day. Everett to Seattle, 32 minutes now. Federal Way to Seattle, 49. Renton to Bellevue, 33. Your lake bridges are clear except for that issue on the I-90 bridge eastbound. Traffic brought to you by AAA. AAA Washington membership unlocks epic roadside rescues, hundreds of local perks and discounts, travel and insurance expertise, and more. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly sunny skies today with highs around 60. It's 44 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Would you rather? Comes up at 9:47, so we're about 12, 13 minutes away from that. Please join us for that. But before that, Ursula, you said you were on the plane and you decided to write something. You can take it away from here.
Yeah, well, you and I often get accused of this. Every time you or I criticize President Trump or his administration, some listeners will text in with the tired refrain, "You've got Trump derangement syndrome." Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest, it used to bug me. I might even say that it would sometimes influence how we would do our show. But right now, I actually wear it like a badge of honor. Labeling fact-based criticism as derangement is a lazy deflection, in my opinion. We call out his actions because the stakes are real. And if you haven't been paying attention, what has transpired under this administration is truly alarming, and all of it is public record. In the past 9 months alone, think about it, President Trump has acted less like a public servant and more like a strongman. He's invoked emergency powers to sidestep Congress. He's thrown out career officials in favor of people who are only loyal to him. And he continues to attack journalists, calling them the enemy of the people. I mean, just this week, dozens of reporters handed in their badges in protest of the Pentagon's new rules that would force them to sign away their independence. And I believe Fox News was among them as well. All of these moves are aimed at trying to consolidate power, to silence your detractors, to chip away at the very checks and balances that keep our democracy alive. And this, I would argue, should be worrisome to everybody. We have talked about it. Trump has also gone after civil rights, diversity programs under the guise of being anti-woke. And while his administration is handing out billions of dollars overseas, including just recently a $20 billion package to Argentina, the U.S. government is now in its 15th day of a shutdown with hundreds of thousands of federal workers missing paychecks. And at the same time, deep cuts are hitting special education, food assistance, and other vital programs that are serving the most vulnerable here at home. That already is so much, but let's not forget that he is also the first convicted felon to serve in the White House. He was found liable for sexual abuse and defamation. He attempted to overturn a legitimate election. He called the January 6th rioters patriots and later pardoned them. He has weaponized the Justice Department to punish opponents, and he rewards loyalists and grifters while firing anyone who dares to say no. And yet it doesn't even stop there. He mocks scientists. He's turned public health into a culture war. He has pushed anti-trans policies. He demonizes immigrants, all while using racial dog whistles. And if you haven't checked his finances, he has enriched himself by billions of dollars. Meanwhile, what's going on with the economy? Working families are still struggling with grocery prices. And I should also mention that the Epstein files are still locked away. So when I think of people who will say TDS, or if there's a syndrome at play, yeah, I will admit there is TDS. It's Trump denial syndrome. It's the refusal to see corruption, to see the cruelty, to see the authoritarian behavior when it's right in front of your eyes. I mean, for those of you who feel like you've been gaslit and you're wondering, like, why the hell is no one else seeing what we're seeing? I mean, blind loyalty does not make you virtuous or more attractive. It makes you complicit. It's ugly. And I will argue that too many right-wing influencers and media figures profit from that complicity. Their silence is not neutrality. It is cowardice, and it is a total grift. And that's why I would argue that dissent matters. What y'all, the people who are planning to go out and protest peacefully this weekend, we need you. I know that you and I have talked about this off the air. We aren't going to stop, even though there are times where we're like, this could end up ending our show because our show relies on ratings. But you and I have agreed that ratings be darned, okay, I need to not swear, but ratings be darned. We've got to speak the truth. No matter how many people try to silence us by calling us names or threatening to stop listening, democracy does not die from outrage. It dies from apathy. So I'm just going to argue that I don't think I have Trump derangement syndrome. I think I have a functioning moral compass, and I refuse to apologize for using it.
First, let me just say this. I don't want to call it. It was incredible what you just said. I'm I'm really just floored and shocked that I didn't think that you would say all of that. So can I ask some questions?
Of course.
You usually are even keeled.
Yes.
You're usually one, you don't go that far. I'm the emotional one on this show. I want to ask you why. Why did you put all of that together now?
Because when I was in Europe, and I went to 2 different countries, and with only one exception, there were people who were asking me, what is happening? What is happening in your country? What are you doing? And when I explained that I have a talk show, people were saying, and I said, you and I fight against a lot of this. Mm-hmm. And I said it's very difficult because there is very strong pushback. And they were pleading. They were saying, please don't stop. I mean, the rest of the world is watching. And if I'm to be honest, mm-hmm. we were affected. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was like we have to have the survival of our show. And we know, you and I get tired when we talk about it.
Yep.
But in some ways, by not talking about it, that means I'm complicit as well.
Right. So does that mean you mentioned something about the ratings? And a lot of times off the air, we have talked about it. Hey, it's probably not a good idea. We should kind of steer clear because, for the show. It felt like in your words, and it felt like I'm feeling your energy right now. It feels like you have this gloves off. I don't give a damn about the ratings. I'm going to tell the truth either way.
Yes. And as long as I have access to a microphone, I mean, I'm going to do my best to fight. I mean, and as we did this week, we talked about, I mean, one of the biggest accomplishments of this current administration may be what is going on in the Middle East, and I hope it is lasting. Mm-hmm. But we cannot ignore these things that are happening out of expediency or because it's uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. So I it's very freeing.
One last thing. Today's Thursday. You came back this weekend. Mm-hmm. You didn't do it Monday, Tuesday. Were you thinking about not doing it?
I wanted to hold off for a couple of reasons. One, the Mariners. Okay. I'll be honest. Mm-hmm. 2, I know it can be polarizing, and my goal is not to do that. But again, I'm like, I need to be truthful. I need to say, I mean, and once I started writing and once I started putting together, I was like, how is this not something that we all are worried about?
Ursula, thank you. That's all I can say to you. Thank you. I needed to hear that from you. And so that just, man, it hypes me up. It was incredible. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sure that I've upset some people, mm-hmm. but I just want to be clear. I'm not calling anyone names. I'm calling out the behavior of our current president.
Would you rather next? Gee Ursula.
Right now at Les Schwab Tires, it's the Fall Tire Fest. Save up to $120 instantly on select sets of 4 all-weather tires. You'll get year-round, all-weather performance, no matter what Mother Nature throws your way. And every tire comes with America's best tire warranty. 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. Just another way you'll get more from less. Stop by a store or shop online at leschwab.com. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done, with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
When your reputation's on the line, you don't leave anything to chance, especially your primer. Painters trust Kills primers for a smooth start, strong adhesion, and serious stain-blocking power. And now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results, faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you have Medicaid and are new to Medicare, you may qualify to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual-eligible special needs plan with a lot more benefits, like dental, vision, and hearing, along with helpful support when you need it most. Now is the time to see if you qualify to enroll. It only takes a few minutes to find out if you're eligible. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options. So this Medicare planning season, we can help you plan well. Learn more at humanaduals.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a dual-eligible special needs HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
This October, the Harnish Auto family is partnering up with Mobile Mammo Northwest in the fight against breast cancer. Mobile Mammo Northwest provides accessible mammograms to women across the Puget Sound, bringing early detection and care to those who need it most. For every test drive taken at a Harnish Auto family dealership, we will donate on your behalf. Join us in supporting Mobile Mammo Northwest at the Harnish Auto family, where people matter.
Hello, Sonia from Mount Lake Terrace here. I mostly listen to the podcast, but I sometimes catch a few minutes here and there in the car. I only caught the last little 2 minutes of what Ursula was talking about just now. Please, please, please keep speaking out and speaking the truth. I hope that you don't get canceled because of it. I feel so defeated with all the news, and I hear of what this administration is doing, and people like you need to continue speaking out. Love you guys. Keep up the good fight. On a lighter note, just the other day, I found myself laughing at something, and I heard myself have a similar Ursula cackle in my laugh. I clearly have been listening so long that the famous Ursula cackle laugh has worn off on me. As you all know, a lot of times I pivot and I do audibles, and I was preparing Would You Rather segment, and then I'm like, nah, because I was just sitting here reading everything. And first, I want to share what Chef said. No, matter of fact, Chef, why don't you tell everyone what you said when Ursula walked in here?
I told her that it wasn't only listeners that appreciated what she said. It was important to me too. There's been this tension on our show between, hey, how do we talk about the news? How do we report the news? Do we give everything equal equivalence and time? How do we approach that? And just to peel back the curtain, like we were talking in our meeting this morning about the No Kings protest coming up this weekend. I'm planning to go if I can get out of a social event. And I asked Ursula if she was going, and she said, "Well, I got invited, but I have something going on." The fact that Ursula, you are considering attending your first ever protest as an attendee. I mean, you have played it down the middle, complete fact-based, your entire career. And if you got Ursula out in the streets protesting, something's wrong in America. And I think it's really hard for some of us to deal with the fact that the media ecosystem treats one thing the same as the other, that things have gone so ridiculously extreme to the right, and people are like, what about Antifa, though? Because there's no comparison between what is happening right now and what has happened in prior administrations. And so it meant a lot to me because it feels like the game is so tilted right now.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Chef. And I can't even really explain what it meant to me. I don't think I'll be able to do it. So instead of me even trying, I do want to ask you this, Ursula, because obviously there was so much that happened for you to do that, and I was shocked that you did, but you did. What keeps you up at night? What is your biggest concern? 1, 2, 3 things, whatever. What keeps you up?
That we are so that we are so divided, that too many people are willing to overlook what's wrong because they want to win and to own the other side. And what keeps me up is just thinking, like, how do we function as a society when we can't even agree, like, what is the truth? Where do you, I mean, every institution is under attack. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I worry about the future for my sons, their future kids. Mm-hmm. It's like, and how do we come back? And which is why, I mean, and we were saying, the Mariners have been such a great relief, because all of that could be put aside and we could all focus on, hey, this is something that we could all rally for. Mm-hmm. And it's just been, I feel like it's been too long. And with everything feeling like it's under attack, I worry that this country that I love so much, and I chose to become an American citizen because I love it so much, it's like, I don't want the damage to be irreparable.
Right.
So that's what keeps me up.
Well, again, Chef's grateful. The listeners are texting in, grateful. Some of you all that didn't text in are grateful. I'm extremely grateful. Thank you for doing that. I'm seriously.
Well, I appreciate the gratitude, except I kind of feel like, in a way, maybe I failed a little bit in not speaking up sooner and not just flat out. How we have gone through all sorts of contortions as to how do we bring it up? How do we find that balance? As Chef mentioned, it's like, no. I mean, you can't be wrong by telling the truth.
37 years you've been doing that in this game. 37 years. And here we are. Ursula, thank you. Hey, we still got a show to do, and Ursula will help guide us through this and get it going. But Washington's great shakeout happens at 10:16, and hopefully I learn better than what I did back years ago. We'll do all that next. Gee and Ursula.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio Northwest News.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership and has the largest selection of Subarus in the entire state. For a limited time, you can get the 2025 Subaru Crosstrek starting at 1.9% financing for 60 months. With over 250 Crosstreks to choose from, you'll find the exact color and trim you're looking for. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized costs. See dealer for details. Valid through 10/31/25.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Cancers impact so many, but there's hope because the UW Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing ways to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Learn more at uwcvi.org about patients who received treatment 20 years ago that are healthy today. You can help by donating to fight at your local Safeway.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Eggland's Best.
I'm Steve Kathan. The Trump administration set to turn up the heat on John Bolton, a former national security advisor and critic of the president. CBS's Scott MacFarlane says a Maryland grand jury is due to hear evidence.
Two sources familiar with the matter tell CBS News the U.S. Department of Justice will ask that grand jury to return an indictment against the former national security advisor, John Bolton. We know that the judge in the federal courthouse in Maryland approved a search warrant in August in which the feds raided Bolton's home in Maryland and his office in D.C.
White House correspondent Nancy Cordes says President Trump revealed on social media he's in touch today with Russia's Vladimir Putin.
He is having a phone call with Vladimir Putin right now. Unclear how he was able to send that message while he was talking on the phone, but he said it's a very important phone call and that he would divulge what was discussed after the call ends.
A judge who says she was startled by images of immigration agents clashing with protesters in Chicago has ordered the agents to wear body cameras. In a vote today, the U.S. Senate failed to pass a measure to fund the government, 10th such vote since the shutdown began. And as it drags on, more air traffic controllers aren't just calling in sick, they're retiring.
Now that they're not getting fully paid, some older controllers are hanging up their headphones, saying,
I'm not going to wait around for the stress to see what happens next.
Drew McQueen, vice president of the Great Lakes Regional National Air Traffic Controllers Association, fears the loss of veteran controllers will have ripple effects.
You like to see your experienced people stay around to help out the younger people.
Some controllers have picked up side gigs,
adding more stress, more fatigue.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Now to the Middle East. Hundreds mourn in Israel, one of the dead hostages returned by Hamas. CBS's Deborah Pata tells us the terror group says it needs better equipment to reach the bodies of other hostages.
Turkey has offered their assistance given their extensive expertise in recent catastrophic earthquakes.
Hundreds of people in western Alaska who lost their homes to flooding are being airlifted to shelters. 2 entire villages had to be evacuated after the remnants of a typhoon struck. Alaska Governor Mike Dunleavy says 2 people who were washed away in their home are still missing.
First priority is making sure people have a roof over their head, they have food, they have a place to sleep, and try and get their lives back to as normal as possible.
And checking Wall Street, right now the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 152 points. The S&P is down 25. This is CBS News.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best eggs. They're just so delicious, with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best.
What you need to know about the statewide earthquake drill coming up, but first, KIRO News Radio traffic. Heads up if you're traveling north. The northbound lane of I-5 in Bellingham is closed between Chuckanut Drive and Lake Samish Way due to maintenance. You are seeing at least a 2-mile backup. Otherwise, no major blocking problems. Travel time's pretty good. Everett to Seattle, 22 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 41. Renton to Bellevue, 33. And your lake bridges are nearly clear. Traffic brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Save 25% off new windows through October and defer payment for the next 12 months. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
Like, Cal Raleigh says, job's not done.
The Mariners will try again tonight to win their 3rd game against the Blue Jays. Last night, the M's fell to Toronto 13-4 in the American League Championship Series. KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas is at T-Mobile Park.
Now the Mariners simply hoping they don't have to break out their passports again and make the trip back to Canada. One person whose efforts could help prevent that, tonight's starting pitcher, Luis Castillo.
For me, same mentality. I mean, just trying to come out here, try to compete, do my same routine, stay the same, go out there and battle.
The Mariners have not lost a game that Castillo pitched in since September 1st.
Game time, 5:33 tonight in Seattle. In just a few minutes, you'll be asked to drop, cover, and hold for the statewide earthquake drill.
You can survive if you get prepared. We've seen that even with the most catastrophic disasters in history.
Maximilian Dixon with the Washington State Emergency Management Agency. The Great Shakeout is set for 10:16 this morning. Federal safety investigators have released their final report on the 2023 implosion of the Titan submersible as it dove down to the Titanic. The NTSB says Everett-based OceanGate skipped key safety protocols and used experimental materials without proper testing. Sources tell Bloomberg that Chinese-backed hackers are responsible for a cyber attack on Seattle-based F5 Incorporated. CBS's Nicole Skanga reports.
Officials from the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency say no federal devices have been compromised, but thousands of F5 systems are in use across government networks, and the risk is serious. CISA's acting director called it an imminent threat, urging agencies and private companies to patch vulnerabilities immediately. Nicole Skanga, CBS News, Washington.
Seattle police are trying to figure out who shot and killed a 20-year-old man yesterday in broad daylight in the Northgate neighborhood. He was found shot in the chest in a hotel parking lot along Northgate Way. No word on what led up to that shooting. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office says a wanted felon fleeing deputies crashed into a car in Parkland yesterday, killing a woman driving that car. 2 people in the suspect's car were also injured. The suspect was arrested. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly sunny skies today with highs around 60. It's 44 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It's the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday, October 16th. If you're new to the show, where you been? No, glad you're here. And if you're always here, a part of the show, thank you for being here. Ursula, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning to you. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
This last half hour, since I did the commentary at 9:30, I have been trying to respond to the very, 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 very many comments that are on our text line right now.
Hundreds.
And I just say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
I guess you guys said we should air it again, so we're going to try to do it again in the 11 o'clock hour for those of you who missed it and are wondering what we're talking about. I guess I just, no holds barred. In case you're wondering, what it was about, it was my response to people who accuse us of having Trump derangement syndrome.
Before we get to the news, Ursula, I want to remind you and those of something. I remember, was it like 2.5 months ago, I remember I was on the air and I told you and everybody that it doesn't matter anymore. I told everybody, I was like, I'm done fighting about this. It's over now. It's too late. And I remember that day you kept saying, but Gee, you can't give up.
No.
You can't give up. You can't give up. And so during that, of course, I didn't. I still stayed stuck to my guns. But I remember after, and I think I came back and I actually said, thank you for that. And I think that that's where a lot of people are in this country. There's a lot of people that's like, I'm tired of talking about this. I'm tired of talking about the news. I don't want to do this anymore. I'd rather just move on. And here's the truth. Like you said, we can't stop. Or else our kids and our grandkids will never have what we once had here in this country. Yeah, sure. Has America had this problem? No doubt. It's been imperfect. But we've never had this. And what this is a situation where
it feels like it doesn't matter if this country fails. And I think that is the difference. So, Ursula.
Well, and that was seen in the number of people who just said, I'm not even going to vote.
Right.
And I beg of you to never ever allow that to happen again.
Yeah.
Regardless, even if you completely disagree with me, do not give up on your right to vote.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, thank you for that.
Sure.
And I think there's a lot of people that needed that. What do you got?
Coming up at 10:30, think about this. Someone who's almost my age is trying to break into college football. And we're going to share that story because I think it's pretty dang cool. And then there's also 2 tests that you can take to see if you are as fit as an 80-year-old, but an 80-year-old elite athlete.
Okay.
So we discussed, I don't know if we're going to do it, but we discussed trying to do it maybe ourselves, this test in the studio. So that could be coming up at 10:30 as well. As always, we invite you to join us on our text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. And we also invite you to join us on our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page.
Sure.
What's new at 10?
Okay, so for the first time in modern history, there are no reporters inside the Pentagon. Now, this is something that hits close to home for me because I couldn't even imagine as a journalist you giving up your badge to cover up something. But dozens of journalists have done exactly that, and they have represented nearly every major American news outlet. And they turned in their access badges and walked out yesterday because they refused to sign on to these new restrictions imposed by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. The journalists were told that they had to sign a pledge promising not to gather or publish any information, even if it was unclassified, unless it had been expressly cleared for release by Pentagon officials. And the policy says information must be approved for public release by an appropriate authorizing official before it's released, even if it's unclassified. And critics, including these journalists, are saying this is an attempt to criminalize independent reporting on the military. I mean, you can't make it up.
No.
So around 4 yesterday, the halls outside the Pentagon press room filled with cardboard boxes, file folders, and decades of personal effects. People were taking out chairs, people were taking out their printers, and every single news outlet in America except one carried their belongings to the parking lot. OAN was the only news outlet that signed up to have the Pentagon vet and approve all of their reporting. Even Fox News, who, reminder, Pete Hegseth used to work for, refused to sign. And this is what the Pentagon Press Association said in a statement. And it's like hurt my heart. The Pentagon Press Association's members are still committed to reporting on the U.S. military, but make no mistake, today, October 15th, is a dark day for press freedom that raises concerns about a weakening U.S. commitment to transparency and governance, to public accountability at the Pentagon, and to free speech for all. And there is a Republican representative, Don Bacon from Nebraska, who actually agrees with that statement and is calling out Pete Hegseth for lying about press access.
I'm not supportive of the new policy. You know, when the Secretary of Defense says that the media had unfettered access to the Pentagon, it's not true. I was stationed there twice. I was a brigadier general at the Pentagon. Yes, they had access to the hallways, the cafeteria, but they did not have access to offices. They surely did have access to classified offices that were working with our secrets. But for them to get in any office, they have to be invited in. And so I think it was an overstatement saying they had this unfettered access. You know, we're not Russia, we're not China, we're not North Korea. We don't want a bunch of Pravda newspapers in the United States. I cherish our freedom of the press, our freedom of the speech. And really, the media is a good counter check to the executive branch. It helps get the truth out. And I think that's very important.
Thank you to that Republican representative, Don Bacon, speaking in favor of the media and the idea that there should be some transparency in government, especially when we're talking about the military.
Right. You know, in my lifetime, when people, and I catch people not telling the truth, I never call it an overstatement. And so the reason I think sometimes we are, and this is something I've talked to you guys about off the air, I really appreciate that Republican coming out and saying that. I appreciate, and I think we all can agree that we aren't China, right? That we aren't Russia. Like,
we don't want state-run media.
We're the United States of America, and but I don't think that's an overstatement. It's a flat-out lie. And so that's what we have to start doing. We, media, everyone, has to call it out when it's a lie. That is a lie. Now, back to the point where I'm going. I can say this. Inauguration happened in January. I knew things would potentially be different here in the United States. I never thought that we would have a day like October 15th in which press would have to turn in their badges and have to basically be out and not cover what is going on in the Pentagon. And the reason why I did not believe that, I never thought that one entire party, Congress, would really sit back and allow this. And the fact that yesterday and going forward, quiet. Like that Republican that you just played right there, it was great. But nobody's going to come to that person's defense. This is going to be something that is going to continue. And I never thought that this was possible. And I don't care what Republican or Democrat, we are the United States of America. This has been something that we have prided ourselves on. When we talk about things happening in North Korea or in China, in Russia, we've always said, well, you know, you can't believe anything because it's all
state-run media
controlled.
Yeah.
And here we are today.
Yeah. So Sean in Des Moines says, only you guys would spin it as suppression of journalism when it's really about holding the media accountable. Sean, I just want to point out that even Fox News is like, yeah, we're not signing on to this.
Even Newsmax. They said no.
No. I mean, you are basically, and Sean and anyone else who doubts what we're saying, I would suggest that you go look and read up on what it is that the Pentagon is actually asking journalists to do. And these are career journalists who've covered over different administrations who are saying, yeah, no, we're not signing up for that. I'm all about holding the media accountable, but what we're talking about right now is trying to silence the media.
Just to frame this for you, Sean, imagine if our newsroom here, Bruce Harrell told them, hey, before you report on anything about my administration, you need to run it through my communications team and my PR team, and then we'll approve whatever you want to report. But if we don't approve it, then you get no access. And so all of the stories suddenly coming out of KIRO Newsradio are pro Bruce Harrell. That is not freedom of the press.
No. That is what.
This is a test of the emergency alert system and NOAA Weather Radio's warning alarm. To participate in today's Great Washington Shakeout statewide earthquake drill, drop, cover, and hold on now. If you are also involved in today's tsunami warning communications test, follow your tsunami communication response procedures just after the earthquake drill. This is a test. No tsunami warning is in effect. Repeat, this is only a test. The following tones will conclude this test.
But the city officials say guests can still stay as long as they like, but they will have to pay the daily rate. So this new rule kicks in 5 days after publication, and notices have already been sent to 5 hotel owners. Did you even know that there are hotels that you could rent by the hour?
No, I didn't. I did not. Now, full transparency, everyone, when Ursula first said that, I probably, like you, were probably thinking, ew, right? Like, and Ursula has that ew. So we're on the same page. Yes, and then Ursula then real quick, within 30 seconds, Ursula said, well, do we really want the ability for the law to tell businesses how to conduct business. So basically what this law is saying to the motel owner, they're basically saying, hey, your business must be done on our terms. Again, I think this is a very slippery slope, one in which whatever about the morals and this shouldn't be happening and you know why they're doing that. Okay, I get all of that. But we cannot tell a hotel that you can only rent this, you can only give out this room on the day basis or on a week basis or a monthly basis. We can't get into that. Once we start and you says, yes, do away with the hourly, that's a slippery slope, and get ready for that to happen in other ways too. Business, you can't do this. Business, you can't do that.
See, now I'm going to argue on the opposite side of that. Okay. Because what reasons would you have, seriously, what reasons would you have to rent a motel just by the hour?
No, okay. Now let's be serious. Forget the glaring reason.
Uh-huh.
You don't want to go in there. Upstairs, we have a room up there where you can take a nap up there. A truck driver or someone else, not necessarily go in their truck, or somebody that does ride share, they can't go in there and rent the room and just take a nap.
Okay.
They can't go in there for a few hours. No. I'm actually being serious.
I know you are.
Get
come
away.
To think of it, when you're in Vegas and you say, hey, can I have late hotel checkout? They say, well, we can give you a couple extra hours. It's going to be $50.
See what I'm saying? But again, I know what everybody's thinking, and I agree with you. I agree that for the most part, sweeping statement, most that are going to use that for a few hours are not going in there to take a nap. You feel me? So I'll agree. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yes.
But at the same time, is that really where you want to take this?
I think they're trying to discourage basically what we talked about yesterday, which is this kind of sex trafficking. And in fact, if I think about it, I know the city of Seattle did some things to crack down on some of those motels on Aurora Avenue.
Well, yeah, they've labeled them nuisance properties.
Yes.
I don't know if they've outlawed hourly room rentals because this is a workaround. Police have suspicions, of course. They're investigating that there's probably prostitution or drug use happening there or sales, right? But you can't just go bust down the door and ask people, hi, are you purchasing sex right now? Like, you need a warrant. You need to show probable cause first. And so they're getting around that by creating a policy targeting a specific hotel. I mean, that's what this is. I mean, the idea that all of a sudden businesses around Western Washington are going to lose their freedom to, do what they want on their own premises, I don't know that I agree with that. I mean, there's one hotel in Fife that's doing this, and it's clearly a problem. Mm-hmm. I see your argument. Yeah. Get the probable cause, but sometimes that doesn't always work.
And they say the guests can still stay as long as they want, but you have to pay the daily rate. So in other words, they'll just pay more for using it for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going about it the wrong way.
Yeah. I understand where you're going with it, but so look, I just want to go in there and take me a nap, or I want to go in there and get me a hot shower, or right now I'm having a disagreement. Lillian and I, we aren't getting along, okay? We're not getting along, and she takes long showers, so I want to go to Fife, drive to Fife.
I'm not going to the motel in Fife. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
They got hot showers. The shower get hot, and they got some fresh towels. That's all that matters. All right. 10:47. It will be time for scenarios. But up next, check this out. Somebody Ursula's age it has broken into college football. Oh, yeah. Talk about that next. Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What a morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300, 206-656-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we're honored to share that the Harnish Auto family has partnered with Mobile Memo Northwest to donate on your behalf. For every test drive at any of our 6 dealerships, including Subaru, Volkswagen, and Chevy Buick GMC of Puyallup, or Kia and Chevy of Everett. No purchase necessary, just hop in and take a spin. Together, we can make a huge difference in the fight against breast cancer. Harnish Auto Family, where people matter.
If you use the carpool lanes along SR 167 after October 20th, you will need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having Good to Go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
If your closets are bursting at the seams, it's time to call the pros at Closets by Design Seattle, closetsbydesign.com, or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule your free in-home design consultation today. One more time, that's closetsbydesign.com.
Eric Butler here, General Manager at Kia of Everett, with some big news. Kia just dropped the biggest EV deals we've ever seen. The expired federal tax credit was great, but these new Kia rebates and lease specials are even more aggressive. We're talking thousands in savings on the award-winning EV6, EV9, Niro EV, and more. These exciting EV offers won't last, so get into Kia of Everett today before inventory disappears, or see us at kiaofeverett.com.
Check out the Kia Fall Sales Event at Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years. That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives. We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day. And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us, clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations. So next time you're at the grocery store, skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them. Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Safeway, Albertsons, or Town and Country Markets. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
You know that cartoon of the three-eyed fish swimming in polluted water next to a nuclear power plant?
Yeah, classic.
I used to think that was real, but I just learned that nuclear energy waste isn't some glowing green goo. It's actually used fuel rods from nuclear reactors that made electricity.
Wait, so no barrels of leaking sludge?
No, solid used fuel rods are safely stored at all the nuclear power plants in the U.S., including the one in Richland.
So the cartoon fish isn't real?
Not even close. Learn the facts about nuclear energy and used fuel at energy-northwest.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Too many breakup songs getting you down? Put a little bossa nova in the playlist. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Get a good-to-go pass to save $2 every time you use it, and on other toll roads in Washington.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
Takes it to the bag for the out, and the Blue Jays win Game 3 of the ALCS.
The man who calls every Mariners game says there's no need to worry about that Game 3 loss last night to the Blue Jays. Rick Riz tells Seattle's Morning News.
The Mariners still have a 2-1 lead. They're at home before a sellout crowd tonight for Game 4. We got Game 5 tomorrow. So they're still just 2 games away from getting to the World Series.
Riz says this team is resilient and can get the job done. Well, some Amazon workers are finding out they are out of a job. CBS's Jason Brooks explains.
Fortune reports that the Seattle-based e-commerce giant is planning to cut corporate positions with heavy cuts in Amazon's human resources division. Amazon earlier this year laid off employees in its books division, which includes the Kindle, as well as in devices and services, Amazon Web Services, and communications. Amazon is cutting costs as it looks to fulfill its plan to spend more than $100 billion this year on cloud and AI data center growth, with CEO Andy Jassy having said recently that AI will likely shrink some white-collar positions in the coming years.
Challenger Gray and Christmas reports technology companies have cut nearly 108,000 jobs so far in 2025. The U.S. government remains shut down. CBS's Natalie Brand with the latest.
Senators returned to the floor for a 10th attempt to fund the U.S. government, and once again, the GOP measure failed.
The motion is not agreed to.
On the larger issues, neither side is showing signs of budging.
A federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to stop laying off federal workers during the shutdown. And as tensions rise between immigration agents and protesters in Chicago, Asher Karashi reports.
Today, a federal judge said she will require immigration agents in the Chicago area to wear body cameras. The order comes just days after a chaotic immigration incident on Chicago's southeast side. Federal agents in that incident say a vehicle rammed into a Border Patrol SUV, setting off a car chase and multiple arrests. As crowds gathered, agents deployed tear gas, exposing both protesters and Chicago police.
Washington State's Attorney General is pushing for a new law to protect immigrants. It would require employers to notify workers within 72 hours if ICE plans to inspect their employment paperwork. States like California, Oregon, and Illinois already have similar laws. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 114 points, NASDAQ off 22. KIRO News Radio traffic. A reminder, if you're traveling north, one lane of northbound I-5 in Bellingham is still closed between Chuckanut Drive and Lake Samish Way due to maintenance. You are seeing at least a 2-mile backup now. Otherwise, no big blocking problems and pretty good travel times. Everett to Seattle, 22 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 29. Renton to Bellevue, 25. And your lake bridges are clear. Traffic brought to you by D.R. Horton. The D.R. Horton National Red Tag Sales event starts this Saturday through October 18th. Visit a D.R. Horton community today. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly sunny skies with highs around 60. It's 49 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday. Oh my goodness, it's almost Friday already. If you missed the commentary that I did in the 9:30 segment, we are going to air it again at 11:06, and we will share some of your comments because it is something that a lot of you are responding to. So we will do that. But right now I want to talk about never giving up on dreams, because there is a guy in Pennsylvania. He's 58 years old, and he has decided that he has not finished his dream of playing college football. His name is Tom Cilio, and he is a retired Parks Department worker who is now suiting up for Lycoming College, which is a Division III program. So he's 6 feet tall, 220 pounds, and he's going to play nose tackle. Again, did you hear me say he's 58 years old? Still younger than me, but okay. Anyway, it's, this is a position, though. I mean, that position demands strength, grit, and a sense of humor about ice baths. But he's never played organized football before, not even in high school, not in college. But after years of powerlifting and overcoming addiction, he says, you know what? Why shouldn't I give this a shot? And his teammates call him an animal in the weight room. His coach says he has inspired the entire program. Now, he hasn't actually played in a varsity game yet. Mm-hmm. Again, this is Lycoming College, so do you still call it varsity? But anyway, he's become a social media sensation, and he's even landed a sponsorship deal for arthritis cream.
Right. I love that story. I really do. I mean, this is amazing. I love that he's playing football, 58 years old. But y'all know how my brain thinks. Mm-hmm. This is a time to listen to that story, and now I'm going to throw this back on all of you.
Uh-huh.
Tell me something recently, or if you've ever started to do something because there was a point in your life that you started to give up on things, and then maybe at a certain time you reignited that passion and you want to. I'll start first.
Yeah.
I was an athlete growing up, coming up all the way through, and then you become a parent, you become an adult, and life hits you, and then you start to get out of, for myself, I started to get out of shape, and you started like, oh, well, that's just, dad bod, and you start to look a certain way. And then I was like, well, I'll just kind of work out to just make myself feel better, but I'll never look like I once did. I had given up on that. I think recently, over the last year especially, that I'm like, no, you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to just get this passion and I'm going to go back into it and I'm going to do it. And I think sometimes that we get at a certain age and we just say things like, oh, forget about it. So have you ever reignited some passion? Not necessarily with health. It could be something else.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, one of the things is, and I was reminded of it while we were traveling, which is going out at night with girlfriends and going out and dancing and not caring that if I am 3 decades older than the person dancing next to me.
There you go. There you go.
It's very freeing. No one's paying, it would be something that I used to kind of feel a little bit self-conscious, thinking like, they're going to look at it like, why
Ladies
is this?
do that, huh? Seriously. I don't think guys do that. It feels like
feeling self-conscious?
Like out and about at like a dancing establishment and maybe looking at those that are younger.
Oh, yeah.
Men don't do that.
Oh.
I don't.
Okay,
at least
well,
I don't think.
and maybe, I think a lot of women do that, and maybe we put controls on ourselves or limitations on ourselves. And I think I love this story because it's like, why at 58? There are times, even though sometimes I think, oh, I feel so old. There are times I feel like imposter syndrome because I'm like, I cannot be 60 years old because I still feel like there's so much I'm learning. I'm a novice at so many different things still, like I think, wait a minute, people are looking at me like at some point they're going to start using the term elderly or whatever, or seasoned or whatever you want to say. And I'm still thinking like I'm a young buck.
Well, especially over the last couple years. Ursula, you go out way more than me.
I do.
I mean, like during
a
regular week, you're out at least 2-3 times.
I come from a position of yes is what I say.
Yeah.
I start with saying, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
It's very freeing.
Janet and Kent says, for me, I was a guitar player, had kids. The music left my heart. Years later, I started playing again. Loved it. See, that kind of stuff.
I love that.
That's it.
I started taking guitar lessons, and maybe my guitar teacher is listening right now because he was a listener. I wanted to do that. I wanted to learn guitar and have that be my new passion. My fingers couldn't stop hurting. Like, I need to start piano again.
You ever play tennis again?
Yes.
You made me really think, actually, when you talked about, kind of getting back in shape. I just realized, I've been thinking about this in the back of my head for a while, but I hadn't really put it together. Watching my son grow up, he's 8 years old right now, and he's getting to that point where I can probably just beat him in a foot race, right? Or I can just outplay him in soccer or baseball, and he's gonna pass me at some point. Mm-hmm. And I also look at the things that I always wanted to do with my kid, like, hey, go on, a 25-mile backpacking trip, or, do rock climbing, things like that. And I'm at that point where I realize, if I don't make some kind of physical change, right, there's going to be all these physical limitations on things that I can't do with him anymore. Because I've gone through that with my dad, where he can't go camping with us anymore. He's great physical shape, but there's just things that you have to let go of as you get older. So I found this to be a really inspirational story
It
about
is a great story.
Finding your energy and your verve again.
Right. 206 texted in and said, I just turned 70 and I played dodgeball with people who are 50 years younger than me.
So I'm saying.
Oh my goodness.
I
need video of that.
Dodgeball.
My dad's sister, my aunt, she's 84 years old, and she does dance class twice a week.
See, that's awesome.
That's her thing. And by the way, since we're talking, Chef's mama be biking, y'all. I mean, she did some real, she's done 50 miles.
Oh, that's like a short day. She does, 80-mile days. Yep. Cool. Early 70s.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Ursula, I got to come up with some more hobbies. I just don't know if I can get out as much as you. The perfume thing, that's been your jam.
Yeah, that is. But that's something I could have done at any age, but that is an absolute passion of mine right now. Yeah. I've become a chemist, and you know what I've started looking into? Okay, I'll share one other thing.
What?
I would love to be, because we created our own perfumes when we were in Portugal. We went to a place and spent an hour and a half with someone who helped us, smell all these different natural ingredients and then put something together. And I would love to take a class on perfumery or perfuming.
Oh.
Yeah. There's apparently an expert at UC Berkeley, I was told.
Because lately you've been having some different smell. I mixed this and mixed that.
I've been concocting this and that. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Coming up next is Time for Scenarios. Gee and Ursula.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO Newsradio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
I've shared with you that my husband and I love to take trips outside of the city of Seattle, and we like to learn about different areas in our state. So many beautiful areas, whether we're heading for the mountains, over the coast, wherever the road goes. And our 2016 Outback from Carter Subaru has taken us there for years, and it is still running strong. If you are ready for your next adventure, Carter Subaru, Seattle's only Subaru dealership, has the largest selection of Subarus in our state, including more than 250 Crosstracks. And right now, you can get 1.9% financing for 60 months on the new 2025 Crosstrack. So gear up for fall, rain or sunshine, and visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline or Ballard or online at cartersubaru.com. Carter
Approved
Subaru.
credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 10/31/25.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Do you need glasses or contacts and you're now at the age where you also need readers? K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to eliminate the need for all those. Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. Andy, for those nearing age 50 or so, refractive lens exchange can be a great alternative to LASIK.
That's right, Joe. K2 Vision RLE is a terrific permanent solution for a lifetime of great vision. The older we get, we experience the dysfunction of our natural lens, which affects both distance vision and requires the use of reading glasses. Plus, after K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
And like LASIK, K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless. The question is, which procedure is right for you?
After replacing more than 100,000 failing lenses, we have the experience to tell you if it's your right time for RLE.
Schedule your free Zoom consultation with us about K2 Vision RLE to get your eyes seeing young again, permanently.
Go to K2VisionRLE.com. K2VisionRLE.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nia Hurd-Garris with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. As parents, we want our children to grow up healthy and strong. That means helping teens take responsibility for their health as they become young adults. One way to do that is to make sure they have one-on-one time with their pediatrician. That helps them become comfortable talking about any health issue with their doctors and with you. So make sure to give your teen a voice. It's good for their health. For more on teen health, visit healthychildren.org.
This Thursday through Sunday at Jazz Alley, experience Corey Henry and the Funk Apostles as the keyboard master and former Snarky Puppy member brings his electrifying blend of gospel, funk, and soul. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
Open enrollment for Medicare happens every year, but for a lot of people, it's still confusing. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Don't worry, help is on the way with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit brought to you by the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Find out what's changing and learn about your options for Medicare with 7 easy steps to get ready for open enrollment. Order your free copy of the Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit at insurance.wa.gov or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center.
DC politicians want to enact harmful credit card mandates that could take away your cash back and rewards points. Perks that stretch your budget and make life a little easier. Losing these benefits means less money for your family's everyday essentials like gas and groceries. The perks you rely on could disappear, leaving you with higher costs and fewer options. Tell Congress to guard your card and oppose the Durbin-Marshall credit card mandates.
Paid for by Electronic Payments Coalition.
Okay, everybody, let's get to scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
I'm a new mom. Well, I have a 3-year-old, and I miss my old life. I was a party girl, and now I'm trapped at home with a kid. I used to be out on the weekends, living it up with my friends. I literally used to get home at about the time that I was waking up to. Now I'm taking care of the kid. I used to get home at that time. I wanted to have a baby, and I love my husband, and I love my child. But this life, it is tough. I'm a fun person, and now I don't have fun anymore. My husband is supportive of me, wanting to try to still have fun, but the toddler, that kind of weighs me down, and I don't know what to do. So I'm just asking, does anyone else feel this same way? How do I get past it? And please don't judge me for admitting to how I feel about this. 888-973-5476 is the text line. Ursula, you up to bat first.
I think a lot of women end up having an identity crisis or some kind of realization, and a lot of it is just, it's a big change. And a lot of it also is there's hormonal things going on. You could be dealing with postpartum depression, that kind of thing. So the fact that she's talking about it is important. The fact that it sounds like she has a supportive husband, I think that's important. But yeah, you made a decision to have a child, and your life is going to change. You cannot be the same party girl. Some of that stuff needs to be put on hold. It is important to have a life outside of your child, but right now you have decided to have this toddler, and it's a little bit different. I think it would be healthy for you to make sure that you can still go out and have fun and arrange it so it's, again, it sounds like your husband is supportive, but you are in a different phase of life.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like she might do well to get some kind of therapy. I mean, I know a lot of women who I thought they wanted to have children so badly, and then when it actually happened, you know, you go through a lot of emotions. I did, actually. It wasn't that I missed my party life, but I actually ended up having postpartum anxiety.
Your friends. There's this old saying, show me who your friends are, right? And I'll show you what's happening, where you're going, right? You could be hanging with negativity, positivity. I'm not saying that she has bad friends. I am just saying that it is very important for your friend group or your circle and who are outside of your husband, that's got to be solid. Now, if that friend group is going out and they're partying and doing all those things and is making you miss it and it seems all good, now that might be a little bit rough. And I'm saying that to say that I'll raise my hand and I'll tell you guys this. Over the last year and a half, I was going through something to where I missed being the fun guy. I have not been the fun guy at the party for some years. I used to be the fun guy. And people that knew me, maybe pre-pandemic and back in the day, I was a fun dude. Now I'm the one at the party, and I'm not. But I've embraced that now.
Yeah.
I'm okay now. I was struggling for a minute.
I remember when you were struggling, and you said, and one of the things is you have shared that you stopped drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
And you also work a lot.
Yes.
So your free time is much more limited, I'm going to guess, and how you choose to use that free time is going to be different.
And my wife is okay with having a boring husband.
That's important.
No,
seriously, that's important.
Yeah, it's like you're in a different phase of life.
Yeah, she has a boring husband, like, you know. And I know people think like,
what's
that
boring? It just means more responsible.
That G I bet he's crazy. People always go up to her, I bet he's nuts. And they're like, she's like, no.
No.
Yeah.
When you hear him, that's it. When he comes home, silence.
Well, imagine if you had the opposite. You had a wife that was like, how come he doesn't take me out every night and we're not going to the casino and we're not going to club and we're not that would not work. Part of me wants to rip into this mom and be like, what were you thinking before you had a child? Have you never seen a child before? Do you not understand that it's a lifelong commitment? But on the other hand, I really get it because it can be completely overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like Gabby and I are in this phase where it's like we just don't have time. We just don't have time. And it's a huge bummer. You lose a little bit of your sense of self when you have kids, and you certainly lose your time. It gets better, though.
Oh, yeah.
It gets a lot better. Once your kids get get older, you don't have to entertain them. You don't have to watch them after school. You get all this time back. Once they get their own transportation, you get all this time back. And so I would plan for what your next phase is going to be and how you're going to approach that. But also, missing partying till like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m., that speaks to a deeper issue to me.
Hey, by the way, Rick and Monroe, how dare you? They say, yes, G, with the spinning belt buckle. How dare you, Rick?
Come on, Rick.
What do you got there, Nick?
Look, it's great she met her goal of having a child, receiving support from a loving family as well, and now becoming a mother. Of course, everyone, I think, has got a little FOMO with their past lives when they sacrificed that single life for the family, but you just got to take it like a champ and accept the reality. I'm not saying, though, you can find a babysitter or maybe even have the daddy take care of the baby while you let off some steam to get that exciting fix of yours. Just a warning, though, it takes longer to recover on those nights the older you get, so take care of yourself afterward for the baby's sake, too.
I know. That's good stuff. But, again...
Change is hard. I mean, and when you have that first child, it's a dramatic change.
So I know that there are people, and Chef would admit it, so because it's easy to judge this mom. What I respect is you know what, like you said, Ursula, sometimes you're just not okay. And you feel a certain type of way, like, hey, I'm not comfortable with this. Like, not all parents, I mean, just so we're clear, not all parents look at their 3 and 4-year-old and just like, oh, Johnny, I love you all the time.
Yes, and there's no stress involved. And thank you for not keeping me up at night.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. You're the greatest. All the time. I never get frustrated.
The other thing, though, is you talked about your friend group.
Yeah.
They ought to also understand that she cannot go out anymore. So find activities you can do together that don't involve going out to the clubs.
That's what I'm saying. Netflix and chill. Coming up here on the Gee and Ursula Show. You guys, if you missed it earlier today, well, Ursula had a commentary, and it was in response to TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome. Well, you get to hear that next. Gee and Ursula.
The Jake and Spike Show.
A couple.
Weekdays noon to 3.
That's not fair. A guy in a couple who ate dirt as a way to change the mojo for the Mariners. Kyle, in the video, it looks like you are mixing it with, I assume that's milk.
It was milk. I just thought, like, what would be the easiest thing to mix this with? I guess in the moment, maybe a beer would have been better.
Clearly it did work. I've posted plenty of TikToks before, and I've never had this happen before.
Watch the Jake and Spike Show live on YouTube. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. So, Greg, we've got a new administration. What have we seen as a result at the IRS?
Well, the result that I think everyone is seeing is, unfortunately, reduction in staff.
And yet people think that because of those reductions, they're in a better spot.
Well, it's not necessarily the case, because the IRS is still going to work with the staff that they have. And in fact, their collection activity is going up.
But now is also the best time to get something done that could be favorable to the taxpayer who owes.
It's very interesting. I've had 2 cases now that I was able to get settled with the IRS fairly quickly and with some excellent results. I think they're just trying to get any case where there's a real live person working on it through the system quicker. They're needing to handle a lot more cases. The caseload isn't going to slow down.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools to help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Gee and Ursula, weekdays from 9 to noon on KIRO Newsradio.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years.
That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us. Clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Fred Meyer, QFC, or Amazon Fresh. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. President Trump says he spoke with Russia's president today. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says Trump still believes he can get Vladimir Putin and Ukraine's president together.
There were discussions and plans are now being made for the Russian side and our folks, led by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, to meet, and then for President Putin and President Trump to perhaps meet again. But I don't think the president has closed the door on that at all.
Trump said he could meet with Putin in Hungary. Trump also warned Hamas today there will be no choice but to go in and kill them if internal bloodshed continues in Gaza. Scott McFarland reports the case against former National Security Advisor John Bolton could go before a grand jury in Greenbelt, Maryland.
Multiple sources tell CBS News a presentation by the Department of Justice seeking an indictment, a criminal indictment against former National Security Advisor John Bolton, could happen with that grand jury in that courthouse this afternoon.
A judge has responded to a growing number of incidents in Chicago involving ICE agents. CBS's Asher Qureshi is there.
Today, a federal judge said she will require immigration agents in the Chicago area to wear body cameras. The order comes just days after a chaotic immigration incident on Chicago's southeast side. Federal agents in that incident say a vehicle rammed into a Border Patrol SUV, setting off a car chase and multiple arrests. As crowds gathered, agents deployed tear gas, exposing both protesters and Chicago police.
There was another failed vote to end the government shutdown. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
We're not negotiating in public, plain and simple. And Leader Thune has not come to me with any proposal at this point.
CBS's Natalie Brand.
Senators returned to the floor for a 10th attempt to fund the U.S. government, and once again, the GOP measure failed.
The motion is not agreed to.
On the larger issues, neither side is showing signs of budging.
We're simply asking them to extend current funding levels for a few weeks while we work on full-year appropriations.
Pickleball has become very popular, and Stacey Lynn reports it's leading to some injuries.
There's been a sharp uptick in people sustaining eye injuries while playing. According to a new study in JAMA Ophthalmology, more than 40% of the over 3,000 pickleball-related eye injuries in the past 20 years were reported in 2024 alone. Most were in players over 50. Doctors are calling for stricter safety guidelines, warning that without mandatory eye protection, players could risk permanent vision damage. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
On Wall Street at this hour, stocks are lower. The Dow Jones Industrials off 211 points. The NASDAQ is down by 86 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We're at T-Mobile Park where the Mariners look to bounce back today. But first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. Maintenance has wrapped up on northbound I-5 in Bellingham between Chuckanut Drive and Lake Sammamish Way. You are still dealing with a bit of a backup, though. Otherwise, no big blocking problems. Everett to Seattle, 22 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, your drive time, 29 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 25. And your lake bridges are clear. Traffic brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. Subaru of Puyallup has you covered with over 300 new Subarus on the lot. Come in now so you can secure today's pricing on tomorrow's car.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
The Mariners are going to win the whole series. We just had a rough night.
The mantra of all Mariners fans today. Last night, the M's fell to Toronto 13-4. The M's still lead the American League Championship Series, though, 2-1. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more from T-Mobile Park.
Saw several TikTok videos of Jays fans marching through the concourse, chanting, "Let's go Blue Jays." Fans like Stewart didn't like that.
I can't stand being here when the Blue Jays fans come. I've been in line and I've been to games with Blue Jays fan, Boston fans. I'd rather not deal with their fans.
First pitch tonight, 5:30. Go Mariners. At T-Mobile Park, Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
As the Mariners chase a World Series berth, bars and restaurants near T-Mobile Park are seeing record-breaking sales. Juice Andrews owns the Hall Group. He tells KIRO 7 TV.
We're ready for it. We're loving it. We're moving a lot of product through here. We're just constantly, just staying on top of it.
He says sales are up 200% on game days. A Seattle-based company, F5 Inc., was the target of a cyber attack backed by the Chinese government. Bloomberg reports the hacker stole files from applications widely used by Fortune 500 companies and government agencies. Federal authorities are calling this a significant threat. They're urging agencies to update their F5 devices and software right now. Seattle police are trying to figure out who shot and killed a 20-year-old man yesterday afternoon in the Northgate neighborhood. He was found shot in the chest in a hotel parking lot along Northgate Way. No word on what led up to the shooting. The state is getting rid of its big guns for avalanche control, opting instead for high tech.
The M60 tank, recoilless rifle, and howitzer are out. Starting this winter, WashDOT will be using a remote avalanche control system on Snoqualmie Pass with explosives that can be targeted and fired from miles away.
Make this a safer experience for our crews. It's safer for drivers and allows us, hopefully, to reopen the roadway faster.
WashDOT's Tina Warner says avalanche control used to take up to 6 hours. This system might only need 2 hours to safely remove snow. Chris Sullivan, KIRO News Radio.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly sunny skies today with highs around 60. It's 55 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It's the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday, October 16th. If you're new to the Gee and Ursula Show, yes, glad you're here. And if you're always here with the show, glad you're back. Ursula, good morning to you.
Cool. Good morning. Coming up at 11:30, we are going to do Agree to Disagree. Mm-hmm. As always, we invite you to join us on our text line, and our text line today has been extremely full.
It has been. Now, let me set it all up. So Ursula just got back from an incredible vacation to Portugal, right? Mm-hmm. And on your way back, you decided to write something because you had something on your mind.
Yes.
And what you had on your mind is the fact that sometimes people will text our show or email and say, you guys have TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. Now, we played this earlier today at 9:30, but some of you missed it. And so, Ursula, I think it is very important for you to do it again. So, please.
Okay. So, and as you mentioned, I was on a flight and I had heard a lot of commentary about Trump derangement syndrome and folks trying to downplay the criticism of our current administration. And while I was in Portugal, we encountered some people who were saying, please don't stop fighting. Please don't stop fighting. The rest of the world is watching. Please don't stop fighting for what is right. And so, I wrote this commentary. And, in terms of this whole accusation of having Trump derangement syndrome, it used to bug me a lot. And now I feel like it is a badge of honor, because I believe that labeling fact-based criticism as derangement is just lazy deflection. And you and I, since the beginning of the show, have called out his actions because the stakes are very real. And what has transpired under this current administration is truly alarming just in the last 9 months. And all of this is public record, so you can check for yourself. In the past 9 months alone, President Trump has acted less like a public servant and more like a strongman. He has invoked emergency powers to sidestep Congress. He has kicked out career officials in favor of people who were loyal to him, and he continues to attack journalists, calling them the enemy of the people. Just this week, and we talked about it earlier in the show, dozens of reporters handed in their badges in protest of the Pentagon's new rules that would essentially force them to sign away all their independence. We should be worried about that. These moves are aimed at consolidating power, silencing his critics, and chipping away at the very checks and balances that keep our democracy alive. Again, this should be worrisome to everybody, regardless of party. Trump has also gone after civil rights and diversity programs under the guise of "I'm being anti-woke." And while his administration is handing out billions of dollars overseas, including a $20 billion package to Argentina, what's happening right now here in this country? Where is the effort to end this 15-day shutdown? Hundreds of thousands of federal workers are without paychecks right now. And at the same time, deep cuts are hitting special education, food assistance, and other vital programs that serve the most vulnerable here at home. And let's not forget that he is the first convicted felon to serve in the White House. He was found liable for sexual abuse and defamation. He attempted to overturn a legitimate election. He called the January 6th rioters patriots and later pardoned them. And he has weaponized the Justice Department now to punish opponents, and he rewards his loyalists and the grifters while firing anyone who dares to say no. And I get it. That's a lot to take in. But it doesn't stop there. He mocks scientists, turns public health into a culture war. He has pushed anti-trans policies. He demonizes immigrants, all while using racial dog whistles. And by the way, if you check and look into how much money has he made just since the start of this latest administration, he's enriched himself by billions of dollars. Meanwhile, the big promise of fixing the economy, working families are still struggling with high grocery prices. And, oh, by the way, the Epstein files are still locked away. If there is a syndrome at play, it is Trump denial syndrome. It's the refusal by too many to see corruption, cruelty, and the authoritarian behavior, even when it's right in front of you. And that is what's so scary. Blind loyalty does not make you someone who is virtuous or make you more attractive. It makes you complicit. And I believe that there are too many right-wing influencers and media figures who are profiting from that complicity. Look into it. Their silence is not neutrality. It is cowardice, and it is a total grift. And that is why I say dissent matters. That is why I'm like, to heck with our ratings, something that we struggle with trying to find the balance between how much do we talk about it and how much do we just ignore it. And I know that that is something that hurts your heart. And I would just argue that democracy does not die from outrage. It dies from apathy. So for anyone who says you or I have Trump derangement syndrome, I'll say, yeah. I'll either embrace it or say, no, I actually have a functioning moral compass, and I refuse to apologize for using it.
It feels like it was more powerful this time for me, and I'll tell you why. I think, like to echo or piggyback off what Chef said earlier, you know it is real when Ursula takes the time to do this, one. And two, Ursula would have been an attendee at the No Kings rally if she didn't have anything to do. Again, as an attendee, you all know, of course, she's covered so much news over the 37 years. As you were putting this together, you're writing it and everything, Ursula, and then today's Thursday. You had it written before Thursday, and I'd ask you why you waited. And you said you waited because of the Mariners and everything going on, but I wanted to go dig deeper into that. Do you think the old Ursula prior to this was trying to stop you from reading that, was trying to stop you and says, look, I know you've written that, but you need to maybe consider those that actually love Donald Trump? Was there a part of you that thought that way?
What I was really hesitant about, two things. One is you weren't here on Monday or Tuesday, and I wanted it to be when you were here.
Okay.
So that was first thing. Secondly, I wanted to focus on what was bringing us all together.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that there are going to be people who wholeheartedly disagree with me.
Sure.
What I wasn't expecting is the overwhelming response that we got today.
Yeah.
And it for anyone who has felt like they haven't been heard, or like, how come no one is talking like this, or how come people aren't saying what it is that I'm saying, what this has told me is that maybe we were wrong in not giving more voice to people who are feeling this way.
Sure.
So that is one thing, but the other thing was just I wanted to make sure the timing was right. And again, we struggle with how we can make this a show for everybody, but it has to be a show for everybody with us telling our truth and the truth.
Right. You know, one of the things that really stands out in everything that you said, well, there's two main things that I want to tell you besides me being absolutely proud of you, but there's two things that really stand out to me. Number one, that entire thing that you said, never one time did you demonize anyone.
No.
That, you know.
I told you, I have friends who voted for him. Mm-hmm. And we just try to find ways to again, focus on what we share together. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to berate them. Mm-hmm. I just want you to understand why it is that our show is not going to be one that we're going to just be overlooking that.
Right.
And I think that is happening too often because it's much more convenient. We don't like it when we're attacked. It's not fun.
Right.
But to heck with it. And our show, the longevity of our show is going to depend on how our ratings do. And remember the first piece of advice we got when we were told that we would have this show, which was, make sure that you have this certain
conservative on your show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I don't consider myself, I like to think of myself as pretty moderate. Mm-hmm. And maybe you will disagree because I have this take, but being against what this administration is doing does not mean I'm a wild liberal. It just means I am rejecting what this administration is doing, and I'm giving you the reasons why.
Here's my second takeaway. I'd say I cannot remember a time that we've had this many responses to something that's happened on this show. As a matter of fact, Chef was not only getting the responses here on the text line, I don't have the email, but Chef was getting emails at the same time.
I'm getting emails too.
I just want to make sure that this takeaway is very important. There has not been one message so far that has disputed anything that you have said. Only there has been the I don't want to listen to this anymore.
Yes.
Or, oh my goodness, this show's off the rail. So I'll ask you this. When you realize and you see that nobody's disputed this or that, nothing in that, what does that say to you when you see those responses? Like, I just can't listen, but you notice they can't come back with anything and disagree with.
It's reassuring to me, but I also want to reassure you, if you're listening right now, that I fact-checked and fact-checked and fact-checked and fact-checked myself, which is another reason, and I added to my commentary. and I don't want to make it sound like this is the biggest thing, but I will tell you that the attacks on the media do have a chilling effect. I will tell you, I wasn't even going to mention this, but I will tell you that I had my husband read what I was going to say. I said, I'm going to share this, and I know I'm going to hack off of some people. Mm-hmm. And he said, are you sure you want to go, that deep? I mean, do you worry that we could be targeted here at home? And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Well, no. Wait. Stop. Whoa. Your husband, he really said that?
Yes. Because we see what the environment is like. Because the dissenters are silenced. Yes.
Wow.
So I'm like, yeah, no. And for anyone who says, well, I'm going to stop listening to the show. I mean, I had one here. 360 says, I am so sick of Ursula crying and being disrespectful on my president. Ursula is a guest in this country. You've ruined my day once again. You are the reason this country is so divided by spreading hate. Chef responded, and she came back and basically said, I am a guest because I moved here from the Philippines, and if I don't like what is going on here, I can go on back to the homeland.
Can I give them a little response in the form of a quote? This is from George Orwell. The further a society drifts from the truth, the more it will hate those who speak it. And let's be honest, there is extreme vitriol and hatred for the truth right now in America. Truth can be painful. It can be painful to hear. I would just like to say to all of the people that wrote in and said, thank you, Ursula, I appreciate your words, etc., do that more. Do that more. The people that are speaking up right now, support those people because they need it. The volume of negativity that people like Ursula get compared to positivity, send your positive messages to people that are speaking out right now. It's important.
I have one more question for you, Ursula. I had a lot of questions.
I want to point out, someone said, now you're lying that people aren't disagreeing. No, we didn't say people aren't disagreeing. There's a handful of you who were like, I'm either not going to listen, bring back Ron and Don. I mean, we see you.
Let me just clear this up real quick. We've had probably 400 messages about this topic, and there have probably been about 12 maybe that don't agree with Ursula. Going back to what you said, G, not just this conversation, but whenever we have conversations about the president, we never get people on this text line who write in and say, you got this factually wrong. You're completely off base with this. You misreported. You distorted the truth. We just get insults. Trump derangement. You guys are leftists.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
And like I say, if someone points out that there is something factually incorrect with what I said, I bring it and I will make the correction.
That's a call to action.
Yeah, you know that I can't even stand to be wrong for 1 second, and I'll have to correct it even before the end of a segment.
Now, that right there is a call to action. No. Now, before you go, we've got about 3 minutes left. You mentioned in there, you talked about the grift. You talked about people that profit from this. I want to. How does that make? Because years ago, 30-something years ago, I don't think that this was happening. There was no social media now. Now you could get on social media, say some of this stuff, rah, 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 I'm on your side, bam, all of a sudden get a check. What's your thoughts on the grift?
Well, you have said it yourself, G. You have said that if you were to change your tune today and you are a black man who is in favor of this, that, and the other thing, even if it is going against your grain, you know that you could make bank.
Do you think I could?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because we are in that space of life where people want to be part of a camp. People want to be even if you're having to put blinders on, they want to be right, or they want to own the other side more so than doing what's right. And there's money to be had in that.
Now,
And there are a lot of people who are I mean, for you and I, it's, you know, we make the same amount of money. But, I mean, there are now with podcasts and that kind of thing, I mean, it's based on subscriptions, et cetera, et cetera. And, yeah, I mean, the more that you can make people more divided, it is more lucrative for you.
Yeah. Always appreciate you, Ursula. All right.
Okay, we're going to do something fun. Agree to disagree. No political talk the next segment?
No more political talk?
Yeah,
the rest of the show.
day.
Rest of the show.
Are we supposed to be talking about the Mariners right now?
Yeah. By the way, hey, Ursula, let's just say, because you got me thinking, you agree that I could make more money if I all of a sudden go MAGA. What topic do you think I could talk about that could get me money the fastest? I know.
Well,
I got a good topic.
You could say that racism doesn't exist.
Boom. And you know how I would double down on that, right?
Yeah.
I would say, hey, it doesn't exist. I would say, watch this. Look at me. Look at what I've done. There's no way. If I can do it, you can do it. These are all just lazy excuses. Okay, let me stop. I'm going to go wash my hands right now. Coming up next, Agree to Disagree, Gee and Ursula. This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
I can't wait till I get a little older.
The John Curley Show.
I get a little bit more hair in my ears.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
And I can be the really crotchety old guy that can say to people in restaurants,
why don't you get your kid off the phone?
You can do that now. No, I'm not there yet. I'm getting close to being eccentric. As my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle-class crazy right now.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube. Weekdays 3 to 7. And download the KIRO Newsradio app.
Are you happy with how you're feeling these days? Are you slowing down physically or mentally? Ever wonder what your life will be like 10 to 15 years from now? Most of us don't really know how we're aging or if we can even do anything about it. But here's the truth. Knowledge is power, and that's exactly where we start at Longevity Medical Clinic. We run advanced diagnostics to find out what's really going on inside your body, and then we create a personalized hormone and health optimization plan designed specifically to help you live better starting now. Our patients are often amazed by what they discover in their blood work, and even more amazed at how quickly they start to feel like themselves again. This isn't guesswork, it's science, it's personal, and it works. Take the first step today. Call 866-86-YOUNG or visit lmclinic.com to schedule your free consultation. Longevity Medical Clinic. Feel better today and every day after that.
Cold is leaking and rats are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Have you tried the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends and explore the lively nightlife scene. The Dining District at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Open enrollment for Medicare is underway. Are you ready? Herb Weisbaum, the consumer man here. Get organized now with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit from the Insurance Commissioner's SHIBA program. Order your free copy today at insurance.wa.gov.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. The American League Championship Series now stands at 2 Mariner wins, 1 Blue Jays victory. The M's falling to Toronto 13-4 last night. KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas has more from T-Mobile Park.
In the end, this was not the start to the homestand that the Mariners wanted. But the beauty of baseball is they'll be right back out here tonight. I know it was going to be tough, if not impossible, to dispatch the Jays that easily. Realistically, a sweep out of the question. But they were the American League's best team during the regular season, kind of showed it last night. But now the Mariners simply hoping they don't have to break out their passports again and make the trip back to Canada.
Typhoon Halong strikes the remote Alaskan coast, flooding homes and prompting airlifts.
This may end up being one of the largest airlifts of Alaskans in the history of the state due to a disaster.
Governor Mike Dunleavy says hundreds of villagers are being airlifted out. 2 people who were washed away in their home are still missing. The Justice Department is expected to seek a grand jury indictment against former National Security Advisor turned Trump critic John Bolton. CBS's Scott McFarland.
John Bolton's home and his office in Washington, D.C. were searched in August by federal agents under a court-approved search warrant. It's an investigation into the potential mishandling and misappropriation or unlawful possession of classified records.
The federal government has been shut down now for 16 days. House Speaker Mike Johnson.
Many of you have asked all of us, how will it end? We have no idea.
Republicans who control the House, Senate, and White House blame Democrats who want to negotiate on health care. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem has made a video about this.
Democrats in Congress refuse to fund the federal government.
That video is playing in airports. Washington U.S. Senator Maria Cantwell says Noem is wrong, and that as a federal employee, she says Noem is breaking the law if she's using her job and resources to make political statements like that. Cantwell is calling for an investigation. SeaTac Airport is not playing that video. Seattle's Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center is pausing new H-1B visa sponsorships. They're citing a new $100,000 federal fee. Fred Hutch, one of the state's top H-1B sponsors, confirms the pause to the Seattle Times and says it only affects new hires. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 435 points. NASDAQ off 254. KIRO Newsradio traffic. A disabled vehicle is blocking a lane on the I-5 northbound Nisqually flyover. You're backed up to the RV park there. In Seattle, a crash is blocking a lane on northbound I-5 at North 85th. Not seeing a huge impact just yet. Travel times, Everett to Seattle, 32 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 23. Renton to Bellevue, 21. And your lake bridges are clear. Traffic brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Save 25% off new windows through October and per payment for the next 12 months. LakeWashingtonWindows.com. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly sunny skies today with highs around 60. It's 55 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday to all of you. It is time for us to agree to disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Okay, I'm going to do something a little different today because I saw a parenting advice column today that absolutely had me stumped. Interesting dilemma. Okay, so from Slate, my husband and I have two boys, Aaron, who's 9, Randall is 7. Aaron has a friend from school. His name's Josh, whose parents are major pot smokers. I've restricted playdates to our place since I don't want Aaron going over to Josh's for obvious reasons. However, I recently caught Aaron and Randall sharing a joint in the backyard. This is the 9 and the 7-year-old. The joint came from Josh, that's the other child, who took it from his parents' stash. When I questioned Aaron, he said that Josh smokes from time to time and his parents don't know, and this is the second time that he and his brother have used it. He involved his brother because Randall threatened to tell his dad and me if Aaron didn't. My husband and I went to Josh's parents, who were very upset and extremely apologetic when they heard what happened, and they've both my sons have been grounded. The dilemma I'm facing is whether or not to prohibit Aaron from being friends with Josh. Aaron's always been very shy, and making friends doesn't come easy for him, and he and Josh have known each other since first grade when we moved to the area. Is this something that can be moved on from? Ursula. You just pointed at G, like, you go first.
G, you start.
When do you pull the plug on a friendship?
Okay, so first of all, that's shocking at the ages, and I get it. And again, I may sound naive, even though...
No, that's a shocking age.
Those are young ages, right? And so what I appreciate is that when the parents brought it up to the pot-smoking parents, they were apologetic, upset, didn't try to hide it, didn't try to, and so all of that. So I would not trust my kid going to their house. If this friendship is worth saving, I would consider allowing the friendship to continue, but you come over to our house. Wait, why are your eyes big? You would just cut it off entirely? Am I missing something in the...
I mean, because some people would look at this as like, that's near criminal negligence. And to be clear, even though the ages are shocking in this, so this is a situation that parents deal with all the time.
Yeah.
They have their kid has a friend who introduces them to things.
Yeah.
And then do you still let them hang out?
Yeah. I mean, right now, my knee-jerk reaction would be, yeah, you're not hanging out with them. But if they're really good friends, are they going to still try to hang out together? So I would just rather have it under my nose.
Yeah. I just want to make sure we're clear on this. So they had access to the marijuana. Is that correct?
The friend has access to his parents, apparently, took it without their knowledge and gave it to them, to the two kids.
Great. All right. And then the question is should you not have them be friends anymore? Absolutely not. And before I answer, let me ask you all this. You know how sometimes you go to the grocery store and they have some of the alcohol locked up? Mm-hmm. You guys have seen that before, right? Question. Have you all ever seen the alcohol locked up at someone's home? where they had a case and it's locked up.
I have not.
Most of the time, you can get free access to the alcohol, correct?
Yes.
And then the next thing I want to know is has anybody as kids ever game over and drank out of the alcohol themselves and then put a little water in there to kind of... Oh, no, okay, no, maybe not.
No. I'm going to answer that question truthfully because I found out that, my boys were doing that in our basement.
Okay. So here we go.
Of course they were.
So my question, the way I'm going to answer this is this. If there is a family that does not lock up their alcohol and their young 8-9-year-old has easy access to the alcohol, would you cut off your child from being friends with them? Whatever your answer is to that question needs to be the answer to the question about cutting off the kid who had access to marijuana.
So what is your answer to that question?
Absolutely not. Hey,
you would not end the friendship, or you would?
I would not end the friendship.
That's
absolutely not.
But I would have a big talking to. We all have a conversation. All parents involved, and say, hey, for now, I don't want to take away this friendship, but I think I would feel safer and feel more confident if they hang out at our house.
Would you have that conversation same
with the
way
parent.
if it was alcohol?
Yes.
You go there, they have a wine rack and they have tequila and they have vodka.
I gotcha.
And so when you go over to the
gotcha.
house, you're like, hey, listen, I see that you guys have free access to the alcohol that's hanging out here. Hey, I would like for them to hang out at our house because we don't believe in having free reign to the alcohol.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, we had a different reaction because it was pot. I see what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
God.
So would you cut off your kids?
For a while, at least.
Yeah.
You're not hanging out for 6 months. There's things that like my son has done with friends where I'm like, all right, you guys you're not hanging out for
you're not good
this
together.
summer. Yeah, exactly. But I also worry about that other kid too. I had a group of friends where some kids were getting in trouble, and it was, I think, through the relationships that they had with friends' parents that got them to a better place. And so I've seen how powerful that can be when, adults embrace a kid who's struggling and really welcome them in.
And one more thing I want to add. If you are a parent or your parents yourselves and stopped you from hanging out with Billy or Susan because you felt like that they were a bad influence on you, or when you were a child you had a friend cut off because they were the bad influence, do you realize that most of the time when the parent believes that other child is the reason for their kid's behavior, most of the time the call is coming from inside the house?
I think you're right.
When you're looking, I can't believe that kid. He does this. I just don't like him. Becky, your son bad too. There's a reason why they friends. Show me who your friends are, and I'll show you where you're going. Right? It's like the guy that's always hanging out with the three guys, and all of a sudden, all those three guys always getting into trouble. And then the wife's like, I don't like you hanging out with them anymore.
Yeah.
They are a bad influence. Becky, you don't think your husband is along with them?
Have you had to have that conversation, though? I've had that conversation. Okay, I'm not, just out of respect for my son that I'm thinking of, I had to have that conversation with a parent when both boys did something wrong. I did not assume my son was the innocent one. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I usually assume it's his fault.
You have at least equal responsibility. So I'm talking to the parents, and we're talking about those conversations are never fun.
Hey, teachers. Hey, school administrators. You ever have the parents come to the school and they say, not my baby? My baby would never. And you look at that parent and you're looking at them like, are you serious? But you got to keep your cool, because you don't want to be on the news in my Northwest, and because there's people that make a living off of literally going out there. That teacher said this to that parent. All right. Hey, coming up next, I love it when I just go off like that. Text messages, feedback, and then we'll have Ursula's Words to Live By.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM. Powered by mynorthwest.com.
When you imagine your retirement, what do you see? A beach, maybe a vacation cabin in the woods? For me, I dream of traveling the world more and spending more time with family and hopefully hanging out with some grandkids in the future. Well, whatever your dream looks like, it deserves a plan that is just as unique. And at Trajan Wealth, their fiduciary advisors specialize in crafting custom strategies for families with $500,000 or more in savings. They focus on capital preservation, growth, and low-cost investments so that you can focus on what matters most to you. Don't settle for a one-size-fits-all plan. Let Trajan Wealth help design the one that fits you. Call them at 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth LLC, SEC registered investment advisor, client, paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Hey, football fans, Steve Rabel here. You know what makes Washington State truly special? It's the people, the everyday champions who serve, care, and connect. This fall, your local credit union, WSECU, is proud to celebrate 4 of these inspiring individuals as part of Washington's Community Champions. Serving Washington since 1957, WSECU is the only credit union named a Forbes Best Credit Union 5 years in a row. Now it's your turn to get in the game. Nominate your hero today at mynorthwest.com/champion.
Hey, it's G. Scott. Cancer touches us all. And as tough as it is, there's real hope. Right here at UW Medicine, the Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing vaccines to treat and even prevent some of the deadliest cancers. Real people are seeing remarkable results, longer remissions, better quality of life. And get this, patients who received cancer vaccines more than 20 years ago are still alive today. That's powerful. But this life-saving work depends on us. Donations fuel the research, the clinical trials, and the next breakthrough. Safeway is stepping up on your next grocery run. It's simple to give at the register. So join me. Stop by any Safeway, make a donation, and help ignite the immune system to end cancer. Every dollar counts, and every action brings hope to a family like yours and mine. Together, we can change the story. Learn more at uwcvi.org. That's uwcvi.org.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
This October, the Harnish Auto family is partnering up with Mobile Mammo Northwest in the fight against breast cancer. Mobile Mammo Northwest provides accessible mammograms to women across the Puget Sound, bringing early detection and care to those who need it most. For every test drive taken at a Harnish Auto family dealership, we will donate on your behalf. Join us in supporting Mobile Mammo Northwest at the Harnish Auto family, where people matter.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Too many breakup songs getting you down? Put a little bossa nova in the playlist. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Get a good-to-go pass to save $2 every time you use it, and on other toll roads in Washington.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. If at first you don't succeed, you just dust yourself off and try again. And you know what? That's what happened with the Mariners. But don't worry. Every loss isn't necessarily a setback, Ursula. Sometimes it is just the set up. Tonight, the Mariners get busy over there at T-Mobile Park. Let's go.
What do you think is going to be the key to changing and just forgetting about what happened yesterday?
Well, first of all, a win. Winning cures all.
I'm talking about for the psyche of the team.
For the psyche of the team, I think, and I think my good buddy Nick would agree, I think tonight, for sure, they're going to have to rely on some of the other bats, right? So right now, lately, you've been hearing about Cal Raleigh, you've been hearing about Julio, you've been hearing about Polanco. We need to hear about some great hits coming from other players, Calzone and all those guys. So that's what's going to happen.
Kenzone.
Oh,
close enough.
I said Calzone.
You hungry?
I'm hungry. Kenzone. Sorry. Sorry. I think it's the bats. Because the bats have been a little chilly. Because as you all know, you go out in the morning time right now in the Seattle area. It's a little cold. It's a little chilly. It's been a little chilly at T-Mobile Ballpark.
Okay, I want to ask Nick, our resident baseball expert, about what are you going to the game tonight?
I just bought my ticket for tonight,
Get
so I'm
out.
on my way down to Soto after work today.
Are you serious? How much? How much did you have to spend?
Well, the prices get lower as the game time approaches, so I got under $250.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Let's
got a little steal there.
Okay.
Yeah, but the key to tonight, first of all, obviously, keep them under double-digit runs. I'd say 3 or 4 runs is okay, but it's going to go on the back of Luis Castillo. He's a great prime-time big game pitcher, so I expect him to lock in tonight.
I like Luis. I agree. That's going to have to happen. But and then their pitcher for Toronto, what's his name? Scherzer?
Max Scherzer.
Yeah,
Mad Max.
Hey, look. He's probably going to the Hall of Fame at some point, but he's not what he used to be.
Getting up there a little bit.
He's getting up there.
We beat another ace by the name of Tarek Skubal too, so we can handle these guys, right?
Yeah, so I don't know. Tomorrow when we come in, we need to be leading off the show. By the way,
okay,
we need to be. We let off the Mariners. How long? How many days in a row?
Yeah, we even let off today, even with the loss.
10 days, I
think.
We're
going on weeks now, not days.
Yeah.
I know, because I was looking at some of the scripts that I had from before my vacation, and we were still talking about, okay, but here's my question, because I haven't looked further than today. So then if they don't get it done today, do they play again tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah.
They do play here tomorrow. If they lose.
Either way, no matter what happens today, they play here tomorrow anyways.
Hopefully they win today and tomorrow so they don't have to go back to Toronto.
Hey, that would be nice. Now, if they, I got to work tonight, so I won't be there. But if they win today, well, I'll be in the building tomorrow because I don't have to work. So I definitely going to pull up in there and check it out. And so we'll see. Is a possibility that Brian Wu, he might come in a little bit?
He is available tonight. He might relieve Castillo because he's limited to about 50 or less pitches right now, coming off injury. So he could come out of the pen, or we could see him tomorrow.
And I like the idea of using him, right? Like we saw what happened on Friday, long game right there. I like the fact of coming in and using somebody like Brian Wu. See, Ursula, it was good that we didn't do all the text messages because all the text messages today were about your commentary. Do you have any?
I have 15 pages that Chef compiled for me.
Good job, Chef.
And so thank you for that.
They're still rolling in.
And just know that even if you completely disagree with me, I appreciate you listening and texting. I just don't appreciate when you say things like, you need to go back to your homeland if you don't like it here. This is my homeland, and it is why
that was a first.
That was deep.
That was deep.
Or maybe that wasn't deep. That was just. I hope that was an anomaly.
Yeah.
Just for anyone who doesn't know, I am an American citizen.
Yeah.
Yes, I moved here from the Philippines, but I am an American citizen, and I love this country.
That's right. All right, Ursula, it's time for your good old words to live by. What you got for us?
Okay, well, I'm going basic here because this is from Dalai Lama, who says, if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. And if you want to be happy, practice compassion. We need more compassion.
We do. More compassion. All right, Brother Nick, what you got?
Well, sure, the M's got sucker punched and kicked right in the face as they give up just one game in this big series at our place. And who better than to lift our hopes and spirits in this race than a clumsy fish called Humpy who finally found his winning grace. So let's all take some inspiration from that speedy salmon and give Blue Jay fans a harder time with more of a squirming famine. So keep it the ball in the yard, and we got this, baby.
Nick, I'm so mad right now. I'm so mad.
I know the writing was on the wall, right?
I should have known that this would have been it. This would have been my time.
Here's the kicker, too. Chef recommended this one for me.
Did he?
Yeah.
Hey, Gee.
Because I actually said it earlier in the show.
What kind of a salmon is a humpy?
I don't know.
Pink.
Yes. You know that because of the text line.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
But G is going to be leading the march, the Humpy March
you
today.
know what? I guess it's better that I know what it is.
Yeah, you better.
August Swinger
know.
Convention.
You better act like you know it all
Somebody's
along.
going to say, so hey, G, what'd you say about the salmon? What kind of salmon is a humpy?
Pink.
It's pink salmon. Yeah.
Oh, pink salmon.
That's easy to remember.
And he finally won a race.
Oh, I did know that. That's how I found out about him. All right, Ursula, good show today. Thank you.
Thank you.
And appreciate your words today. They were awesome. Seriously, we a lot of us needed that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Chef. Thanks for the show, man. Appreciate you, Nick. Have a good time over at the ballpark.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be rocking tonight.
Man.
Yes.
Send some pictures and all that kind of good stuff.
I'll send you.
Hey, the Jake and Spike show, they're coming in next. Make sure you stick around. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
After 35 years in the window industry, I know choosing the right team for your window or door project is a big decision. Adrian here, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Treating your home with care while offering top quality products is important to me. Our windows are 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards, reduce noise by up to 50%, and feature low maintenance clean glass technology. Combined with our leading leak armor installation and lifetime warranty, you get protection for life. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. I'm so excited to have my cousin Amelia with me today. So, how many chickens do you think there are on the farm?
3,000?
What do you think chickens eat?
Grass.
What else?
Seed.
So, do you know what organic eggs are?
The ones that you put in brownies?
Yes, the ones you put in brownies.
We hope you choose fresh eggs from our family farm.
Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh
since 1909.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
If you use the SR 167 Express toll lanes after October 20th without a Good To Go account, you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A Good To Go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
We are all about your experience.
We are
Subaru
of Puyallup, your
stress-free
dealership.
Treat yourself to a stress-free car buying experience with Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma.